adds a different kind of sweetness. It's very hard to describe, but it very much tastes like birthday cake. I'm contemplating just letting the camera roll and just eating this because it's just so good. Welcome back to the Anabolic Hub, where we make anabolic deliciousness. We're back inside my kitchen today, and we're doing a silly, stupid recipe today. I guess you can call it original. The base of it is Anabolic French Toast. Thank you, Coach Greg Doucette. We're gonna add a little spice to it. Well, I guess we're gonna add a little sugar to it and make a little birthday cake version of our Anabolic French Toast. It's so easy. All you need is the ingredients. It takes hardly any more time at all than your traditional Anabolic French Toast. It's a great way to switch up the flavors. If you like sweetness, this is gonna be the new Anabolic French Toast for you. It is so good, so delicious. There's one spice that you might not be able to find in your grocery store, and if you can't, I'll link it in the description box down below. It's not an affiliate link, it's just so you can find it. Search around for it, maybe you can find a better price. This is the cheapest one I've found, but I'm telling you, just like our original Anabolic French Toast, this recipe is going to be ideal for any shredding plan, any main gaining plan, and definitely any weight loss plan. So, with no further ado, let's get things started by having a look at the ingredients. Here we go. White bread, egg whites, vanilla extract, ground cinnamon, swerve, granular, vanilla-based casein protein powder, swerve, confectioners, water, McCormick birthday cake, sugar and spice, blend. So stop me if you've done this before. We're gonna get things started here by doing our traditional Anabolic French Toast base. Thank you again, Coach Greg Doucette. This is by far and away the best anabolic recipe ever created. Well, other than the apple bake, of course, but I digress. We're gonna get things started here by making our traditional Anabolic French Toast base. If you want the macros to match at the end, just follow along, use all the same measurements I did, and you'll be right on point. We're gonna get things started here by adding in 276 grams of our egg whites. And the familiarity just keeps on going here. Next, we're gonna add in 3 grams of our ground cinnamon. So I used to put in 5 grams of the ground cinnamon, but you know what I noticed? When I'd go to clean the bowl, I'd end up washing away about 2 grams of the cinnamon, which is obviously a complete waste. I started using 3 grams and ended up tasting just as anabolic delicious as using 5, and yet I was able to save myself 2 grams every time on the recipe. What do you guys use for grams of cinnamon? Let me know in the comments section down below. Next up, of course, is our vanilla extract, which we will use 5 grams for. And you might be asking yourself, how the heck did he pour the vanilla extract like that? Well, when you get a new bottle of vanilla extract, leave this little white part cover on there and you poke the center of it with a toothpick. Makes it way easier to measure out. If you're not doing that, you're welcome. And you probably already guessed it, the last ingredient that's going to go into our French toast base is going to be our 0-calorie sweetener, which in this case is our Swerve Granular. I've learned my lesson. I'm no longer pouring from the bag. If you saw a couple videos ago, you saw what happened to my Swerve when it's been humid out over the summer. Got all nasty at the top, doesn't shut, and then it all clumps up. Here, I'm just gonna be using a spoon, spooning out the exact amount that I need. If there's any left over, just gonna put it back in the bag. And you know what? We just saved ourselves a big mess. Voila. 5 grams on the money. You guessed it, next step, we are going to whisk it all together. It truly is amazing how much quicker all the ingredients incorporate with a whisk as opposed to even a fork, and definitely way better than a spoon.
Just wanted to break in real quick here to remind you to smash the like button. Consider subscribing if you're not subscribed, because still we're only up 3%. 53% of you who are subscribed are actually watching my videos. So let's keep pushing that number up, get it even higher. And I'm wondering, if you're not having French toast, what are you having for breakfast? Or is it just French toast all the time? Let's talk about it in the comment section. All right, back to the video.
Next, of course, we're gonna add in our bread to the mixture. Of course, you're using 4 slices of regular ass bread, or in my case, I'm using gluten-free bread. Not a big deal, as long as it absorbs, as long as it's the lowest calorie bread that you can find, or that will absorb the best at the lowest calorie. I know there's slices of bread out there that are like 20 or 40 calories each, but they don't absorb very well. I find that these absorb excellent. They're only 80 calories a slice, give or take on how you measure it out. I'm going to be putting in 160 grams of the bread, pre-measured, nice and even, going into our mixture. And then, of course, we want to make sure we get maximum absorption, so we'll toss some of the mixture over each slice of bread. And then what I like to do is, of course, let it sit to absorb in as much as it can, maybe a minute or two, maybe a little bit longer. Then we'll flip them over, try to maximize the absorption on the other side, move some of the bread pieces around. It's a very intricate process, isn't it, making anabolic French toast? No, not at all, actually. It's quite simple, and that's very much overcomplicating it. But yet, here we are, making our traditional anabolic French toast that we're going to next level with our birthday cake mixture. This recipe actually works out rather well to give you the maximum amount of time to allow that mixture to absorb into your bread, because while that's all happening, you can get going on your birthday frosting mixture that you're gonna do here that is, as I said before, super simple to do. It's only 4 ingredients and one of them is water. The first thing we're gonna be doing is using our casein protein powder, of course, vanilla-based casein protein powder. We need 1 scoop or 33 grams going into the bowl. Second ingredient, we're gonna increase the sweetness even more and give it more of a frosting type flavoring using our Swerve confectioners. We're gonna be putting in 10 grams. And heck, we have 2 dry ingredients in a bowl. We might as well do some sifting, get proper disbursement of all that sweetness so we get a nice even frosting that we're gonna put over our French toast. Let's get it going here. Quick little sift. And of course, we have to make our mixture into a frosting somehow, and the best way to do that is going to be with using some water. Mix in just enough until you get that frosting consistency, which I'll show you right here. Now, of course, every casein or any protein powder is going to absorb differently. And if you try to use whey protein, you already know it's not gonna work. It's gonna be way too soupy and the flavor is not gonna be the same. Casein protein powder works the best for frostings. Can't tell me otherwise. Trust me, I've tried it. This is the best. For frame of reference, I added in 100 grams of water and I get the perfect consistency every time. Yours might be different, so put in less than you think you need because you can always add in more, but you can't take any out. And before we can do anything with our frosting that we just made, we have to go back to our French toast, which now has likely fully absorbed all of that mixture we had in there. We're gonna take it over to the pan, cook it up, put on our frosting, put on our spice, take it over to the taste test table and see how awesomely delicious this French toast recipe is. Now stop me if you've been here before, but it's time to cook up our anabolic French toast, which has done a fantastic job absorbing up all that anabolic deliciousness in our mixture. We're gonna be here at our pan. Of course, we're gonna spray it down with some non-stick cooking spray. We do not want our 4 pieces of bread to stick to the pan to make a totally disgusting looking, but still anabolic, but not aesthetically pleasing anabolic French toast. We're all about aesthetics here as well. You want the food to look good and taste good. And I'm just gonna leave it there because it was going someplace that wasn't gonna be great. Anyway, high capacity non-stick cooking spray loaded, fire away. And we'll get the burner started over medium heat. And I don't know how well your bread absorbs, but this gluten-free bread does a great job absorbing almost all of that mixture. I would think it was in there for about 5 or maybe 10 minutes, thereabouts, somewhere in the middle there. But it absorbed almost all of the mixture, which is awesome. That means this is gonna cook up great. We're gonna get it going here. As always, using our 4 quadrants to get these cooking up. 1 slice going on at a time. And of course, we don't wanna miss any of that goodness, so we'll pour it over our bread. Every slice gets more anabolic deliciousness. This one got cheated a little bit. And as I kick the tripod out of the way here, probably a little different viewing angle. Anyway, we're gonna let each side cook for 2 to 3 minutes, take it off the pan, and then put on our frosting. Time to do the old flipperoo. And I think we're done here. Time to transfer it over to a plate and head back over to the frosting. I said it was going to be simple and I was not lying. What we're gonna do next is take our frosting, evenly distributed across our 4 pieces of anabolic French toast here, and then add on our last ingredient. The best part about this recipe is if you like your frosting thicker than last time, yep, I stole it, it's Greg saying, I know. But if you like a thick frosting with 3 C's, this is going to be the frosting for you. I'm telling you, the casein protein powder makes a fantastic frosting. Adding in that Swerve confectioner is gonna add some sweetness, give you more of a frosting type, not only taste, but texture. Our final ingredient that we're going to put right on top is going to be our McCormick birthday cake sugar and spice blend. We're gonna sprinkle it across our 4 pieces of Anabolic French Toast. I'm telling you, if there's any calories in it at all that's significant, I would be shocked. Unless you're going into peak week for the Olympia, don't worry about it. Put on as much of this stuff as you like. It's probably impossible to overeat too much where it's gonna throw your macros out of whack. And it gives a great texture and a great flavor to this particular recipe. Again, I've linked it in the description box down below. Let's get this on there so we can take this over to the taste test table. And we're back at the taste test table yet again for another Anabolic French Toast recipe that is absolutely 100% delicious. It might be the definition of anabolic deliciousness because not only does it taste fantastic and have fantastic macros, it also is super simple to put together. And who doesn't like another simple Anabolic French Toast recipe in the arsenal? Now, you can add on some sugar-free syrup if you want to. It is totally not necessary. You could have this by itself with just the frosting and it's gonna taste so friggin' good. But if you want more sweetness, by all means, throw on some sugar-free syrup. It's just gonna make it taste a little bit sweeter. When we're talking about the sweetness world, sometimes it can never be sweet enough. God bless sugar-free syrup. I know everyone's a big fan of the Mrs. Buttersworth sugar-free, but this one here is pretty good too. Anyway, I digress. Let's get back to our taste test here. This looks phenomenal. It smells delicious. I feel like I have a birthday cake right in front of me right here. All that's missing is the candles. First bite, best bite every time, always, especially with this one. Here we go. Oh, like I'm eating cake. So good. I don't know if you've ever made frosting with casein protein powder before. It works well for a lot of recipes. You add this spice on top here and it just adds a crunch. It adds another sweetness, another flavor to it. It's like you're eating birthday cake. I would actually be interested to put this on a donut glaze. Perhaps my anabolic glazed donut recipe. Could put that on there. I bet it would make it taste even more phenomenal than it already does. Just like it did to this Anabolic French Toast. So incredible. I've been having this the last few mornings. I haven't even touched the sugar-free syrup. Don't think it needs it, but we are doing a taste test. We want to be fair. So let's throw a little extra sweetness on top of our next bite, right? Shall we? I'll just cover this other piece here. Just drizzle a little bit across. Probably like 4.5 calories there or so. Probably not even that much. And we'll take a piece here. Maple syrup taste test with the birthday cake French toast. Drip down a little bit there. Taking a bite. Yeah. It's just like sweetness on top of sweetness on top of sweetness. And the best part is 100% anabolic. I've heard other people say they can have anabolic French toast at every meal. Heck, why not? If there's this much variety that you can add in, especially a variation that's this simple, have a whole day of anabolic French toast. Treat yourself one day. With recipes like this, it's kind of a no-brainer. That little bit of crunch that you get with the spice, again, it adds a different kind of sweetness. It's very hard to describe, but it very much tastes like birthday cake. If you think of your traditional vanilla frosting birthday cake, this really brings that flavor out. I don't know what they put in it. It's very hard to read the ingredients. Of course, the first one's sugar. It's so negligible though. How many calories could really be in that? Maybe, for what I dash on each individual piece of bread, maybe 15, 20 calories at the most that you're adding on. And I think that's really overshooting it. It's probably way less than that. We're talking sprinkles here. Now, I suppose if you were in a pinch and you couldn't find this or you didn't want to buy it or whatever, or maybe you already have rainbow sprinkles at home, you could do this same recipe with rainbow sprinkles. Probably still gonna taste just as good. Calories might be a little bit more, but probably still negligible. I would definitely measure them out, but that could easily work with this recipe as well. Probably wouldn't give as much of a birthday cake type flavor. It would taste like Anabolic French Toast with frosting and sprinkles on it. Maybe a little more ice creamy. I don't know. I haven't tried it because I have this, and perhaps when this runs out and if I can't find it, I'll try it with the rainbow sprinkles. But I'm telling you, this version is so good, it's hard to stop once you start. I'm working our way on to piece number 2. I'm contemplating just letting the camera roll and just eating this because it's just so good. Let me know in the comment section, has anybody seen this spice? Has anybody tried it before? What are your thoughts on it? Do you like it? Do you not like it? Do you hate it because it's got actual sugar in it? But we all know that it's calories in, calories out, and if it's sugar, it doesn't matter. Heck, we can eat Anabars. We can afford ourselves a little McCormick sugar and spice blend. Absolutely enjoying a heavenly meal right now. Of course, there's not really much else to say about it other than, yep, you guessed it. It's absolutely delicious. I'll flash up the macros here so you can see exactly what's in it. It's not all that different than traditional anabolic French toast. One of the things you're going to notice that because we use that casein protein powder on top of the protein that's in the egg whites, the protein is almost doubled, if not more. The point is, adding in that casein frosting is going to increase the protein count by at least 20 to 25 grams. No brainer. Get more protein in. Who doesn't like more protein? I don't want to make these two into a sandwich and just kind of, eat it as a sandwich. I'm not gonna. I want to be a savage. But it's getting to be about that time. I gotta get up out of here, so I'll see you in the next one. Bye.